apologies for that little delay right there. Hopefully my internet is sorted now. I just did a modem reset last week and it's suddenly worked, but then this week we're back to the same lag issues. So maybe I just need to do it before we start the stream every week and then we'll be A-okay. But Kellen Brower in the booth, Talon joining me in the booth as well to call the action here. Round number 10 of the AOMX FXR Championship in MX Bikes. Moto 2's coming up here from High Point in just a moment. If you were with us for Moto 1, you obviously saw Chase come through and win that first Moto. TJ P2, Cam P3, but we'll go to you on this, Talon. What happens in Moto 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm hoping it's those three again because we saw some great battles early between Chase and Cam, and we saw a great battle between Chase and TJ at the end of it, so... You know, it'll be a fun moto if those three get another good start. If Chase gets a bad start, it'd be fun to see him come through the pack, you know, since he's done that a lot. And I don't know, I'm just ready to see some fun motos, and hopefully we come out of it with a good title fight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to whether or not TJ can inch even closer to Cam or not, or if Cam has something to say about it. How about the fact that those three have really been laying it down of late? We saw earlier in the season quite a mix-up of guys that were getting up there and battling for wins and podiums and everything like that. We're seeing more guys like those KFCs or, you know, Brad or Dariel or some of those other guys be close to podiums but not able to break through lately. Are we kind of maybe almost getting to the point where the three that we're seeing up front on a regular basis are the three that we'll see down the stretch too?
Yeah, they're looking to be the main guys. You know, after that moto, Chase is only 4 points out of being third in points as well. So I think maybe after this moto, we have those three, you know, since they've always been up front, those three might come out with being your top three in points. And, you know, TJ and Cam have always been dominant. They've been dominant in this, you know, this series for the past 3 years. You know, throughout, like, I've been keeping track of all the all-time stats, and Cam leads the all-time stats in both moto wins and overall wins, and TJ leads the all-time stats in both moto podiums and overall podiums. So these guys are nothing short of dominance in this series, and, you know, they're all pretty much 1 and 2 in pretty much every category of those four.
Wow, that's incredible. Clearly, they've been showing up, and they have been putting up in the AOMX Championship. Brought to you by FXR. Hey, good time to shout out FXRRacing.com. You guys are going to want to head over to FXRRacing.com and check out all of their 2026 racewear, casual wear, helmets, goggles, everything in between. FXR has got your moto needs covered, and we thank them, of course, for supporting the series and supporting MX Bikes for as long as they have. Been really cool to see a real sponsor be as involved as FXR has been in MX Bikes, and the best way to keep sponsors like that around is to keep supporting them. So if you like seeing sponsors like that in MX Bikes, I would highly recommend you check out FXRRacing.com and support what they bring to the table. So shout out to FXR Racing for backing the championship. All right, time to roll into the action for the second moto, and we get a look what's going on with these guys down the inside. Brock W once again, more middle-ish for Cam and TJ. Gates 5 and 6 or so for them. Aquas, Neon, Steiner, KFC, Stargame, Reed, Saki, Pax, Chris, Gooey, Kai, Bongo, Krusty, and Karcher way outside. But time has expired. 15-second card is up and sideways. It's time to drop the game for Moto 2 as we go racing again. And it's a beautiful start once again for TJ. A terrible start for his teammate Neon. But Cam down the inside's drag racing him into turn number 2. He picks up the whole shot.
So it looks like the game jump-started Chase, so it's going to be a red flag.
Oh, no. Poor Chase. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Man, we had it set up, though, for a second with Cam getting the whole shot right there. But, hey, rules are rules. What? So, how does that work? Like, I know that it used to be you would just, like, glitch through the gate when you loaded in. Is that the same thing that happened with Chase?
It's kind of like a lag thing, to be honest with you. You know, at least I think it's a lag thing where, you know, it kind of pops up. It just kind of like shoots you forward whenever you immediately like load in, because it almost like drops you down whenever you load in onto the gate, and it just kind of shoots you forward sometimes, and the game thinks you're too far forward, like crossing the gate, and it'll just give you that jump start. It's unfortunate that it happens. Sometimes they've kind of found a way to go around it where if you just go to the track in practice, most of the time it won't jumpstart you, but sometimes it'll just do it without you, even if you do that. So
Gotcha. Oh, looks like time already expired. I was surprised how quickly that countdown was, but once again, we're going to have another quick jump here from High Point. What's going to happen in Moto 2 is we're off and running again. And another terrible start for Cam. That might totally screw him over. Is into turn number 1. Ethan pushes TJ out, and TJ looks like he may have gone down. Ethan gets the whole shot over Daryl this time. We've got Steiner up here trying to shoot into the 2 spot, and he does. Chase in the middle of this group as well. Stargame, and where are Cam and TJ? Seems like they got off the gate horribly.
Yeah, it looks like TJ's about midfield now. It looks like we might have lost Chase. He might have went down in those rollers, so looks like TJ is actually already up to P6, and then Cam is still buried in the back of the pack here. Yeah, he's all the way down, and it looks like P20 along with Chase. So horrible start for them. You hate to see it after they got that start, but unfortunately the red flag due to the game, you hate to see it. But it looks like Ethan is trying to pull away early and get a first Moto victory here in AOMX.
Yeah, we're going to, if obviously he gets back to a podium position, we'll be able to talk to him. But I'm so curious about Cam's starts, because that's now basically 1 out of 3 was good this week, but the other ones have been terrible, especially last week. And Red Buddy got a terrible one as well. The jump out of the gate absolutely murdering him, as TJ really had 3 good starts, but this was the only one where he got pushed wide and down. Another really good start from Ethan up the inside, able to get the job done. So on lap number 1, as we work our way through the back section up towards Bradshaw Boulevard, it's Ethan leading, Brock W, Steiner, Stargame, Daryl, and TJ side by side with Neon, and then Coltrane, Pax to the outside, Gooey, Brad, KFC coming through, and then Cam, your points leader, down in about the 14 position. There's Chris, and then Moto 1 winner Chase going up the hill in front of Reed, who said he just missed out on the start of Moto 1 and is back to try to take some names in Moto number 2, but they're all chasing Ethan at the end of lap number 1. So predictions from here kind of looking like TJ's set up quite pretty, but some of these other guys might have something to say up at the front, huh?
Definitely, Brock W's up here. We got Steiner on, the 350 really showing out here, looking down the inside of Brock W, seeing if he can get the pass, and he can. He's going to have the line, but Brock W shooting back down the inside, leaves the room for him. But Steiner, they're going to be side by side through the rollers here, and I think Steiner might have a little bit of edge on him. He closes the door on the outside, and so Steiner's going to move through into that P2 with Brock W, and it looks like TJ's trying to go around the outside of Stargame. He's going to have to follow in line here, looking down the inside of him, though.
Oh my goodness, 2 different battles to watch, and a good one up there as Brock W makes a pass on Steiner. TJ putting the heat on Stargame, who's another fun face that we've seen up here the last couple of weeks, getting some good starts and battling with these guys. So cool to see a couple other names up there. Look at this freight train coming down up to the big old quad jump. Oppo whip for Steiner. Everyone else scrubbing it down to the normal trend off to the left right there. And they're still all chasing Ethan as Steiner pushes wide. Oh, I thought Stargame was going to push a nose in there down the inside to try to make that pass happen. 5 riders on your screen right here, pretty much first to fifth, still nose to tail, and then Neon hanging tough here in the 6th spot as TJ tries to use that far outside line to his advantage. Doesn't work. Then Stargame comes up alongside of Steiner to the outside. Oh, and he gets chopped off, swaps down the hill and holds it on. Gonna get passed on the outside by TJ, but a nice save to not go completely off the bike right there. Steiner gave him a little love tap. Now TJ gets a twofer, top of the hill, up into 3rd place. What a move by the 1.
Definitely a great move around the outside of both of them, and not being able to follow his off. He goes the track, and Steiner wants to follow him down there. Looks even Stargame. They're all going sightseeing down the bottom of that hill, but Neon's going to get basically a 3-for-1 off of that, and he's going to move into that P3 position after all those guys made that mistake.
Yeah, just sitting pretty right there with a nice move right there. So it's Ethan, Brock W, Steiner, TJ, Stargame, the top 5 right now. Neon, Brad, KFC, Daryl, Pax, and then Cam just got into 10th around Pax, I should say, and he's bringing Chase with him. So we'll want to keep an eye on that battle. But the Steiner-TJ battle just keeps on delivering. TJ down the inside, going to get him back, and Steiner just goes defensive to try to block the outside line on Brad and Stargame, who get into each other on the Carmichael double. That allows KFC to go by, and then Stargame and and then Brad continue their battle coming down the hill. It's all kicking off right here as Daryl goes by. There's Cam. So Cam is actually ahead of a couple of these guys. And are we back to the same thing that we saw last moto? I think he has maybe 3 or 4 seconds of cuts again, because he's way further back on corrected time than where he is on track.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to, wait and see once the lap ends. It still shows he only has one, but maybe we'll have to wait and see until it updates or not. But yeah, Chase right behind him, trying to follow on through as Dario makes a small mistake. Cam is going to get by him. It looks like move himself into that P9 spot, and he's got to hurry up and move forward so TJ does not pull too far ahead of him. And it actually looks like Brock W is getting around Ethan for the lead up front.
Yeah, there it is right there. Brock W and Ethan side by side going up the uphill as Brock W tried to double down into the valley. Ethan holds it steady for now. It's less than a second between them. And now a mistake from Ethan allows Brock W to go by into the race lead. These are teammates, though. AEO backed program going to the front for Brock W. AEO ride for Ethan in P2. They might want to start working together because here comes Neon and TJ, the MRC teams. Almost a little bit of a motocross of teams race going on out front right here. Brock W relinquishes the lead back, though. Ethan goes up to the front. Here's Neon trying to challenge him for second. Where did the 11 come from? He is up here battling these guys, and he's around the outside trying to get Brock W sideways over the finish. Brock W goes down. Neon and TJ both by into second and third. It's all kicking off up here.
Came out of nowhere. He got, the 3-for-1 at the bottom of the hill. He seemed to actually going inside here, kind of skipping that outside because of how rough it is. And, he got that 3-for-1 from TJ, Star Game and Steiner going off track. And then he got another one. So just staying upright, being consistent is helping him out. But now he might lose spot to TJ as he jumps by him down the hill.
I mean, TJ just absolutely greased the Carmichael double. Call it the Carmichael triple today, though, with the way these guys are hitting it. Woo! Gets kicked a little sideways right there before the FXR table. Nice job to crowd back together, but TJ looks absolutely on a mission to go to the front and not allow his buddies Cam and Chase to get up here before it's too late. Kind of the same story starting to brew a little bit, though. TJ ahead of those two as they're starting to work forward together. Now, how long until TJ gets to the back wheel of Ethan for the race lead? Seems as though it's almost a matter of time.
It's definitely, going to be a while. I saw a little bit in the background. It looks like Cam and Chase are battling, which I don't think that's what they should be doing as... Woo.
Uh-oh.
Don't know what happened there.
Server? Question mark?
Server might have died because I am guessing server died.
Uh-oh. Error 404. Hashtag MyMXB, fix your stuff. Hopefully. That's not good. We were set up for a crazy battle. Is it going to come back? I don't know how this works. I think these guys are cooked, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. It might have completely done it. We'll wait and see if guys start typing in chat, or they might just be continuing writing, but I think the server might have just completely gone there.
Oh, no. What's going to happen now is we'll wait. It looks like timing and scoring is still kind of
and they're starting to retire now.
Oh, yeah. It shows Cam retired, Dario retired, so these guys are donezo by the looks of it. Oh.
Keep saying connection timeout when I try loading the MyMXB website.
Oh, no. So MyMXB oh, wait. But, all right, so we're back, kind of,
but can't everybody retired, so...
Oh, no. So is this going to be a hard restart, or what are we doing?
Yeah, it's gonna be a red flag, because it'll also give everyone cuts.
Oh, poor Ethan. If you're Ethan, you were just cruising out front. And that's going to be all gone. TJ's still behind him in second. Yeah,
I have to call it because Dario retired, KFC retired, Cam retired, Reed retired, a bunch of people retired because of it. So
it looks like a lot of guys either had a lot of crashes or pulled off the track because the running order is insanely different than what it was.
Yeah, it gave also a bunch of people cuts, so it just messed everything up. So I am going to red flag it, put it back into practice real quick.
All right. Wow.
I'm going to ask. We'll have to wait and see if people would rather, just restart with 20 minutes left or do a full 30. I'm guessing full 30 because that's what we had to do last time, but...
All right, so we'll wait for those official word to come through, but obviously just the nature of the business, MX Bikes, not the most well put together online game. We try to do our best when it comes to having the races and making them look good, but Piboso has never really put that much effort into making it a well-oiled machine for running online servers, and this is the nature of the beast. Yeah, so we'll wait to see what the community wishes to do. 20 or 30 minutes, as you mentioned, the 30 minutes last time out. We got calls for staggered restarts in chat though right now. People want the staggered.
I would love to, but it is way too difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like we could get them lined up in position, but not everyone runs chat, so you would have. There's no real good way of doing that, unfortunately. But I guess it's good that we have the server still. The lines are still the same. We wouldn't have to do a full restart of the server unless you change time, right? Oh no, because
it looks like people are voting 30 just because of the erode.
Voting 30 because of the erode. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that means we will have a literal hard restart again. Unfortunate that the server just did not want to cooperate tonight, but the way she goes, guess, I mean, who would that be? Nico paying the credit card bill?
Yeah, gosh dang it, Nico not paying for the website.
Of course we kid. It's the way it goes sometimes with the online racing. That's why we need more LAN events. We got to have some people get together and host some LAN events. That'd be fun. Would certainly love calling live action like that. But for now, don't think there's enough money being made in this game for that. At least not yet.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we will re-rack them and rerun them here in just a moment. Again, if you're just joining us for the first time here on the Moto 2 broadcast, Moto 1 winner was Chase, who unfortunately got jump-started on the original start of Moto 2. And we saw Cam and TJ come out side by side. We were maybe in for a good one there, but of course the jump start constituted a red flag. Then we get about 10 minutes into our official second moto here with Ethan out front, and the server crashes, unfortunately, causing another full restart. So we'll be racing here in just a minute again. Looks like a couple guys have maybe called it an evening. We're down to those 18 guys.
Yeah, I'm going to see if anyone else is willing to join. We can see a lot of people kind of dropped because of the server being, messed up, but I'm giving these guys time to, join back. Obviously, Chase is joining back.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Chase MXB 406 is the same Chase B or not, but he said they did a staggered. He said they did a staggered restart in PCK. Everyone seemed to abide by the rules when we were told them they would be kicked if they didn't follow the rules. Okay, so, I mean, some are saying they want the staggered, some saying they want the 30.
I can try it, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be fun to see, obviously visually, but it is what it is. Karcher just doing loops in the pits over here. Let's do a little bike overview. Who's rocking what in the pits right here? Oh, look at that beautiful number 11 Neon, the MRC Vulcan backed program. Looking snazzy. Oh, there's Cam's Moto Academy number 9. Very good looking machine. And hey, like, kudos to Chase here for saying, the staggered restart in a way could kind of screw him because he could get a better start on a full restart, but he was like 10th when the server went down. So if he's asking for it, he's asking for some work to do, I guess. But
yeah, Cam said run it, but he also said he's biased. So
all right, everyone just doing their motos, having a good time. Star Game sitting off the track. What's the pits like? I haven't even perused around up here. I want to see how accurate it is. So I have been to High Point IRL now, and that is the media tent right there. And this is the podium right next to it. So very, very accurate, right by the finish line jump. And then, yeah, pits are laid out pretty close. That would be in Vendor Row, which is over there. And then this tower right here, I believe, is gone. There was a storm 2 weeks before High Point this year, and one of their 3-story towers got completely blown over. I think that one is it. This one's still here, but the other one was gone, as far as I remember. So, keep that of note, ARL Track Crew, hashtag Stone Rider, and JV. Oh, can you actually ride through the tunnel?
I'm not sure.
Pax and carts are up here by the tunnel, but I think they're just messing around. It's pretty visually aesthetically pleasing track. Call it the Country Club of Motocross IRL. And if you ever go to this race in real life, you'll hear that pretty much as many times as they ask you to say Redbud at Redbud is how many times you'll hear that this track is the Country Club of Motocross over the loudspeakers. So be prepared if you ever go to High Point in your lifetime. Rows and rows of fans back here. And got the Hell Machine Burgers in the pits. Could stop by there. Got the pizza. This guy looks like he's really enjoying the pizza. Oh, there's competing pizza next to each other. We got Papa's Pizza and some weird Italian pizza that's got a sandwich on the hauler too. In heated competition. Hell Machine, he's just selling burgers though. He doesn't care about this pizza competition. Got the MTG VIP lounge at the top. Come up and hang out here with all kinds of VIPs like Hudson Deegan. Probably a couple other people up here. Got some lady with her purse and some really interesting leggings. Let's hang out with the crowd up here. Good looking crowd here today at High Point. Particularly these ladies doing a nice job in the crowd. Oh, these ladies as well. Wonder who this gentleman is. Yeah, I think it is Stone Rider right here. It looks like him at least. Is that Nico with the Monster Girls?
Yeah.
No shot. That's funny. Man on a mission, Nico. Love to see it. Just faces after faces in the crowd. Honestly, I think it'd be funny if you could submit yourself as a crowd member to the ARL track crew. Just give them a PNG cutout of yourself and be like, hey, I'll, whatever, $5 to be on the tracks. Be pretty neat. This guy looks important. Got his coffee. That guy looks like he wishes he was not at a motocross race right there. I'll tell you what. Dress up as a Monster Energy girl, yeah. Hey, yo, this kid's looking sus behind these monster chicks. Who put this kid back here? That's a little ridiculous.
We'll just do normal because there's probably people that aren't checking chat. So
all right.
A lot of people wanted it, but also it's like there's people that probably aren't check.
All right. Fair enough. It is what it is. Can't please everybody. What is this guy doing? Oh, he's taking photos. Okay. Enough of looking at the crowd. Let's look at these boys on the line. And we're going to get...
We got some jump starts, yeah.
Oh, jump starts again. So we'll take a look at the crowd a little bit more. Why not? Beautiful crowd. Lovely crowd. Yeah, there's some interesting positioning of the people that they put in the crowd here. I'll say that, to say the least. All right. Up the inside once more. It is Brock W, KFC, Brad, Ethan, Cam, and TJ side by side. Cam gets the inside nod against TJ here in this one. Aquas, Chase, Neon, Steiner, Stargame, Reed, Coltrane, Saki, Pax, Chris, Karcher, Gooey, Kai, all ready to go. Moto 2 this time. Let's have a fantastic race here at High Point. Board is sideways. Gate is down. Let's follow these guys into turn number 1 and see where the chaos comes from. Cam's getting shot around. TJ's over the bars into turn number 1. And Ethan gets vindicated. He picks up the whole shot. Pax trying to go to the lead on the outside, but Ethan's going to block that line. Pax jumping over top of him. Takes Ethan and himself out. It's Saki to the lead with Reed, Stargame, and Brad moving up into better positions. Oh my goodness gracious. TJ and Cam got absolutely yeeted going into turn number 1. Now Saki's going down as Stargame goes to the race lead. Brad and Reed are up here. It's all kicking off.
Everybody was down in the rollers. Cam and TJ were able to kind of sneak through there, and now these two are basically side by side. They're following each other up this pack. I think they're up to this 5th place pack, battling with Coltrane and Neon now. So better start for Cam, and he's going to be ahead of TJ now as Neon goes over the bars up ahead of him. So that's another free spot for him. But yeah, I think they're up to about 7th place now. So a good start from Cam after that restart, but TJ's right behind him.
Yeah, TJ's right there's Cam. Oh my goodness, Pax was yard sailing down the hill, and Cam just absolutely did the perfect left input to go around him and made a nice pass on Coltrane as well. So Stargame leads Brad going into the valley, but this Cam TJ battle is going to get absolutely insane. How about Stargame leading the race? Let's give him his flowers up here. The MXL Racing Aptos program out front in a pro race. Gotta love it.
Oh, yeah, he was showing out last week, getting some solid top 10s, and now leading early. He's got Brad right behind him, who's 3rd in points, and then he's got Cam, who's actually down off the right-hand side of this downhill. And it looks like we might have lost TJ unless he already went through.
No, he did go through. He's up in 3rd now.
He
Yeah,
went through. So yeah, so Cam losing a bunch of spots, and TJ is gonna, still capitalize in it. Might be right back to where we were before that restart.
Stargame, Brad, TJ, 1, 2, 3. Then it's Reed, Coltrane, Aquas, and Cam going down. Cam is down again, and his bike's absolutely sent off the racetrack. He goes from battling up in the top 5 position to outside the top 15. Gets going in front of Krusty and Saki, Gooey, and Pax. And Karcher are the only guys behind him. An absolute disaster for your championship leader. Meanwhile, Brad, your former championship leader, goes to the front coming down the hill around Stargame, and they're dropping TJ kind of quickly right now. This is a weird race the way it's developing, but Brad and Stargame still going at it.
Huge race for Brad here, trying to, rebound after a good start to the season. And now Stargame going around the outside, trying to give him the business, backs off and lets Brad take the outside. So Brad, like I said, a good beginning of the season. Like I said, previous points leader, fortunately has fallen off these past couple of races, but he's looking to regain, some Moto wins here and maybe try to move forward and hold on to that P3 in the points.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move by Brad to hold steady with Stargame looking up the inside. TJ is quite literally all by himself in 3rd place already. Then it's Reed, Brock W, Ethan, Aquas, Neon, and then Chase, your Moto 1 winner, going up the hill with Steiner on the 350 going by. KFC, Kai, Pax, and then Cam. So if you're Cam right now, I mean, full panic mode maybe? This is an insane position to be put in so early in the race with these 2 crashes, and he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he's got to move through the pack rather quickly. Luckily, he's got a bunch of riders bunched up as he takes down Kai. No remorse there. He's in a big hurry, does not care what happens. He's going to push everyone out the way if he has to, and luckily there's a big group up ahead of him that leads all the way up to about 10th, maybe a little bit farther. It looks like Brock W is leading that group when he actually goes down, and Aqua's actually the lead of it now, so that leads all the way up to P7 at the end of that group, and he can catch up to Chase, who's already up to P5. Yeah,
Chase is making really quick moves through the field. This is actually a really impressive showing for Chase early in this race to be right behind Neon and Reed already. I can't believe that he's made it up here given how crazy those first couple of laps were, but it is Stargame, Brad, and TJ 1, 2, 3, then almost a better battle going on for this 4th spot. Is Chase and Reed absolutely leaned on each other on the Carmichael double, and somehow neither rider went down. Insane racing right there, but they both, Neon and Chase, able to get around Reed. Aquas is still right on his heels. Then we look up the road a little bit further. There's Brad, Stargame, and TJ starting to settle into a little 3-rider battle of their own for the lead. This is absolute chaos in the first 5 minutes.
Battle's already on track here as Brad is trying to pull away from both of them, and TJ giving chase here, trying to move forward ahead of Stargame to try to move into that P2 position and catch up to Brad, try to gain as much points as possible on Cam, who's having a bad race right now down in P9, trying to move forward. But TJ, you see him kind of going inside here. He's not hitting that main rut, and it actually helped him out. He's going around the left-hand side of Stargame, but Stargame holding on tight around that inside. He's going to try to squeeze him outside, but it looks like TJ is going to get the run and pass him around the outside.
Yeah, Stargame played nice right there. He didn't go all the way to the very exit point of the rut. He kind of backed out of it early and hopped over a rut even to give TJ the space, which I'm sure TJ will be much appreciative of. So our leader is Brad. TJ is on his horse trying to close this down and go into the race lead himself. Once again, looking like it's playing out pretty similar to what we saw in the first moto, though TJ doesn't have the lead right now. Maybe he will soon, but at least he has the upper hand on his two men that he battled quite a bit in the first moto, Cam and, of course, our Moto 1 winner, Chase. Aqua's back here coming across in the 4th spot. Chase is on Neon for the 5 spot. After all of this chaos, he is trying to get up there and make something happen. Looks like Reed has kind of nestled in between them on penalties, or even ahead of them, because Neon has a little bit more than Chase. But then there's Reed and Cam. Cam is ripping right now, man. He looks pissed off, ready to get up here and try to make some of these passes.
Upset, he's tired, he's ready to hop off the game and go to work, but ooh, this looks like he collides with Reed a little bit. Neither of them go down. They're both able to save it, and now Cam looking to go after Neon as he jumps down the right hand side of him, making the pass quickly. That's going to move him into the P6 on track. Neon does have 3 seconds of cuts. Chase has 2 up ahead of him. So Cam just has to stick closely with Chase, and these two can slowly start to work forward and even get onto that podium position here soon.
Oh, man, this is playing into Cam's hands a little bit once again, especially with TJ still not quite in the lead. And, of course, TJ didn't win the first moto either, so it kind of helped with damage limitation. But Cam riding out of his mind, trying to get as close as possible to some of these guys and make some early passes actually stick. So TJ up into the 2 spot officially around Stargame. They have dropped Stargame, and Stargame actually slipping into the clutches of Aqua's instead. So Stargame in 3rd, Aqua's in 4th, Chase in 5th, and then Cam in 6th as Chase almost goes through the front door. Cam's still trying to go for that double. Crazy that these guys are doing it, because every single lap it looks like it's just clench and hope, which is not an ideal situation if you're trying to actually gain time on this racetrack.
Yeah, it's definitely, not the best way to go around the track, but it can be fast if you get some lucky bounces through all these ruts, but it's definitely, high risk, high reward for these guys. And, TJ trying to move forward to catch up to the lead. Brad and Cam and Chase still trying to move forward here, but, they still got 22 minutes, so I don't think they need to be in any rush to catch up to these guys. Just, they still got him in sights. It is about 10 seconds, but, like I said, they still got plenty of time to catch up to him.
Yeah, so Cam and Neon still pretty much battling it out amongst themselves. And you look up the road a little bit and you see Aquas and Stargame having a battle. It's not going to be long before Brad and TJ have a battle. It's tough to pick which one to watch, but we'll see this one between Aquas and Stargame turn into an Aquas P3. He gets around Stargame to solidify that position. And shoot, I didn't get there in time. TJ has taken over the race lead from Brad just as quickly as I was about to go up there. Brad missed a rut at the bottom of the hill, and TJ's out front and sailing once again. Now, we saw what happened in the first moto. A little too many mistakes caught up to him as he learned his lesson and is he about to take off and run with this thing.
Yeah, I think he's able to, pull away from Brad. Brad just doesn't have that speed that he had early in the season. And, if he could, hold on here for a P2, that'd still be a great ride from him after all those mistakes. TJ getting a little sideways there, getting kind of a bad kick from that rut. Like I said, Chase and Cam still trying to move forward. Chase does have 3 seconds of cut, so even if he catches up to TJ, still got to beat him by 3 seconds.
Yeah, so we'll see how that materializes for the rest of the race. Brad just holding steady in 2nd. Like we said, Aquas had moved up into the 3rd spot. Chase got around Stargame as well, so he is moving forward and blocks Stargame to the outside line. And we mentioned earlier in our earlier broadcast, I should say, that we're going to start calling Chase the closer. This is going to be an all-time closer moment. If he can get up there and close the gap down, he's going to get a freebie on Aquas, who was down at the bottom of the off camber. But now he sees nobody in front of him. The gap is quite large up to Brad and TJ. Hey, don't count Brad out of this just yet either. He's keeping TJ quite honest for this race lead. Cannot just say anything about that Frenchman in the P2 just yet.
Yeah, definitely holding on strong, really showing that, the speed that we saw him that he have earlier in the season with those bunch of overall podiums and moto podiums and back-to-back races, and kind of lost that speed in these last couple rounds, but looks to be finding it here in this moto, and wait and see what he could do with TJ up ahead of him. But if he's not careful, we'll see how quickly Chase and Cam can even catch up to these guys.
Yeah, TJ thought maybe would dispose of Brad a little bit quicker, especially with the recent form of Brad, but maybe he's even starting to feel that early season flow once again. Looks like Neon is catching Aquas as well, bringing Cam with him as Stargame has kind of drifted back a little bit. Chase all by himself in the 3 spot, but this battle for 4th brewing pretty quickly here. Aquas and Neon set to duke it out, and as they battle each other, that's only going to play into Cam's hands to try to get up there and make a couple passes as well.
Yeah, it's definitely don't know how patient he's going to want to be, or if he's going to still be full gas and trying to catch him and try to move as far forward as he can, but I have to wait and see what Cam does with this, as it looks like Neon trying to go down the inside of Aquas here. Take that inside line. He's going to hit into that rough rut, get kicked sideways, and down he goes, and Cam goes down right behind him.
Oh, Cam almost gets hit by Stargame as well. Stargame able to go on by. All these guys have really dropped Brock W behind that Steiner as well. But this is just a war of attrition at this point, as now Stargame goes flipping off the track in the back here before Bradshaw Boulevard. A chaotic race to kick things off, and we still have 18.5 minutes of it to go. So if you're Cam, that's maybe the best friend of yourself right now that you have on your side is time. You have time to still make amends, time to get up there and pass Neon, maybe get into a podium position and limit the damage, especially if TJ is to go win this race. We know he gained 2 points in the first moto, got it down from 18 to 16. Cannot let him gain another 8 or 9 points here, because we don't want to see single digits if you're Cam heading into these final 2 races.
It's definitely going to be a struggle for him. He's always had kind of a big lead ever since he got that points lead. It's been double digits or more, and we'll have to, wait and see by the end of this if TJ can bring it down to those single digits. But knowing Cam, he'll probably charge all the way to the end, and I think there might be a podium in play here for him, as long as he can stay upright and, not make too many mistakes.
Yeah, the staying upright part is going to be the most challenging part, especially with the way this track is starting to develop. It's getting quite gnarly in a few spots, particularly that double out of the back. But even I'm starting to notice some of these guys just will not go to the main line anymore in a few other places around this track, which of course suggests that line is maybe not even viable anymore unless you really want to Hail Mary something. But the consistent routes are starting to maybe make their way into play a little bit here, and staying out of all that deep chop is going to be the way to go. I mean, even Chase back here, he charged out of that rut to the inside and almost went down coming down the hill anyway. So even when you do decide to take the safe route, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get away scot-free.
Yeah, it's definitely, the way they build these racetracks, they make them kind of rough for you. So even if you're not taking it, it's still not going to be a super smooth line for you. But, you see the timing. Brad is starting to lose touch to TJ, and TJ is going to get more of that breathing room. Don't know if it's going to be like last moto where he relaxes too much with all that breathing room, and, it might lose him late in this moto, but, it's definitely always a good feeling to get those breathing room with 16 minutes to go here.
Yeah, looking at Cam and Neon just on screen here. Looks like Cam has a slight advantage on penalties over Neon as it runs right now. About maybe 3 less seconds of penalties, I would assume. But
yeah, Neon has 3 seconds and Cam has none.
All right, there you go. So 3 seconds of penalties for Neon will come into play for his overall position. Oh, Cam getting sideways out of that rut right there. Not what he wants to see happen, and another little mistake. They're just turning into too many mistakes in a row for Cam to do any damage that he was probably hoping to have accomplished in this race. Neon still up the road. Aqua's pretty strong performance from Aqua's. Haven't seen him much today. Was really fast at one point early in the first moto, then had a couple of crash issues, but looks like on raw speed alone, he kind of factors in with this group quite well. Yeah, we've always kind of seen him. He's always lurking around that top 5 position
And, he finally got a good start, and he was up front early. Just those tiny mistakes early on have kind of cost him, but now it looks to be settling down and really holding his own with these top guys. TJ, Chase, Brad, Cam have all been, really these top guys almost the whole season, except for, a few rounds where they fall out.
Oh my gosh, Aquas absolutely dies on screen right in front of us as he tries to go for the double, and that just shows you how big that rut has gotten, because he just found a trampoline and went right over the bars, and now suddenly gets Neon to pass him. Cam is still right there fighting all these ruts the same way that we just saw out of Aquas right there. These guys are really starting to work it on this racetrack. We'll peek up the road and see that it looks like Chase just got Brad for second as they came over the finish line jump. I'm not sure if Brad maybe just had a crash or if Chase has a few seconds of penalties and that was the difference maker, but Chase actually around him on track. And here we go, 14 and a half minutes or so, plus some change. Couple laps to do it. Chase is 11, 12 seconds behind TJ on track. Are we about to see another closer moment here for the number 11 KTM?
It's going to be close. I mean, last moto, I thought he was out of it for sure, and he still somehow found a way to claw his way back into this thing. So never count him out in these late motos. And, we're just going to have to wait and see how far he could get up and catch up to TJ, or, Cam, if he could, quickly catch up to these guys and catch up to Brad, even though he's lost a little bit of touch back there in P4. So it's all about, minimizing the amount of points that he's given up to TJ and seeing if Chase can help that out by catching up to him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Cam, your best friend right now is Chase, just hoping he has another one in him to get up there and close this gap down to TJ. If you're Chase, you don't care about any of this. You just want to go 1-1 and win the damn race at all costs. Of course, right now, it is TJ who's in position to win the overall, sitting on that 2-1 score to the 1-2 that we're looking at out of Chase, but things can change in a hurry, as we saw with TJ late in the first moto. 5-second lead, looked comfortable, and that double out of the back bites him. He goes over the bars. His bike flips down into the valley, and it's a long enough crash, just long enough for Chase to go by. So if you're TJ, got to avoid those this time around, settle into a pace, find your lines, and I guess if you're him, not go for that double again, but maybe I'm just stupid and he's going to keep doing it anyway.
Yeah, I think he would. He'll probably still hit it every now and then, but he's definitely going to be double thinking it, especially if Chase can catch up to it. It might, remind him of what happened that last moto. So, Chase is slowly catching him. He gained actually 3 seconds last lap on TJ, so TJ might have had a mistake because I think it was his worst lap of the race. So, I don't know if it was lappers or something else, but TJ was not good last lap, and it looks like Chase is slowly working his way forward with still 12 minutes to go.
I mean, I think at this point, if we see a bad lap, we're going to have to probably boil it down to the racetrack, just the way that these guys are still hitting some of the main lines and getting kicked around. We saw, I mean, shoot, even TJ 5-6 laps ago at the bottom of the hill just trying to go fast into a main line, and he ends up 50 feet off the track. So this track is reaching up and biting these guys, and TJ is just out here trying to survive it to the best of his ability. Here is the visual of the gap back to Chase. Chase, pretty much they're on either side of the valley in this back section. As Chase goes into it, you can see TJ coming out of it. Brad's still hanging tough, a few seconds back of Chase, just trying to stay as close as he can. And then speaking of we see Cam closing, get down in the 4th spot. So he's made it all the way to 4th. Chances we see Cam get to Brad before this race is over, pretty high, or do you think Brad could lock this down?
I mean, with the race we've seen tonight, everything that's been going on, there's no certainty on anything here. Brad, like I said, he's always been fast, but mistakes, we'll have to wait and see if he's finally gotten over him. And Cam, that late last moto where he just lost all that time to those guys, so it's really hard to tell. But like I said, I don't see him giving up, and actually looks like Brad made a mistake up ahead of him, so that's going to give him a really good shot at even seeing him now. Yeah,
you can see him going up the hill right there on that uphill triple. So Cam got the fire in his eyes, and all things considered today, with the way it's gone, if you say he's going to walk away with a 3-3, I'm almost positive he would take it at this point, because it has just been such a weird up and down. And Brad suddenly in his viewpoint. Chase, Another second down on TJ. TJ, pretty clear track, but as I say that, he goes down and he's backwards at the bottom of the hill here. Really odd crash. Odd place to crash too, and it really bit him. We're going to see this come down to maybe 4 or 5 seconds as we hit the mid-split right here, and Chase can definitely see him if he looks up now.
Yeah, Chase now has a clear view of him. Looks like TJ got a second of cut somewhere, so now Chase only has to beat him by 2, and he hasn't really gained any since those opening laps where they probably came from, colliding with people and going off track. So Chase, now that he could see him, it's down to, I think, probably about 5 to 8 seconds. So yeah, he's definitely got a good shot at catching him. He's still got 10 minutes to go here, plus 2 laps.
All right, we'll see what happens as these two are set to battle once more, and TJ has just absolutely got to be beside himself that he made another critical mistake like that, because again, these points will matter so much, especially if Cam can hold on to and lock down third in this race. If TJ falls back to second, after everything today, he'll only gain 4 points in the championship if it were to stay as such with Chase going forward to win this race. So incredible that Cam would only lose 4 points given everything that's happened, but TJ's got to get the bit between his teeth and hold on to this because Chase is cooking. Almost got it down under 5 seconds now.
He is really on the move, and like you said earlier, he is Cam's best friend right now for the championship, and he is really trying to go 1-1 here today. Probably had a chance at it last week if he didn't have to miss that second moto, so always has the pace coming down the downhill here, and you see TJ kind of swapping out up ahead of him, so these small mistakes, and Chase just applying the pressure once again, and it might cause TJ to go down and lose the lead once again.
All right, so that pressure is starting to ramp up just a little bit. One lapper stands in the way of TJ. Otherwise, it is clear racetrack, and all he can hear is a KTM 450 starting to get a little louder with every passing lap around this track behind him. Down under that 5 second mark, 4.7 as we go through the Monster Quad in the middle of the racetrack. Cam looks like he has locked down the 3 spot over Brad. But that doesn't matter right now. It's all eyes on Chase versus TJ. Where are you seeing the time being gained? Because it's coming down in the buckets right now, but Chase is just doing it all right, it seems.
Yeah, it's always, a little weird. Obviously, we always say it every week. He's always going alternate lines and also not afraid to hit those hard-packed ones that have been really roughed in here. As it looks like TJ mistake off the track down. He goes and collides with Pax coming back on. Another crash is going to cost him the race lead here, and Chase into the lead. We'll see what he can do with it now.
Unbelievable. Another mistake from TJ in the final 10 minutes to hand it over to Chase, and Chase leads once again at High Point, looking for a 1-1. This might be the most unbelievable 1-1 without leading that many laps I've ever seen. I mean, what is he going to lead? If he leads from here, he's going to lead about 7 laps total today and go 1-1. Incredible stuff from Chase. Just the closer, man. The closer is what we're going to have to start calling him. I'm keen to ask him after the race if he's okay with that nickname, because it's become the norm. Every week he does this. Every week he closes the gaps down late, gives himself a chance to do something, and he takes the lead late here. But now another mistake and goes down. So if you're TJ, got to be salivating here a little bit that you still have a chance to try to go win this thing.
Yeah, if you would have told me at the beginning of this moto with all the crazy stuff that the top 3 finishers could go 1-1, 2-2, and 3-3 for your top 3 in the podium, I probably wouldn't have believed you with how crazy everything has unfolded these 2 motos. But Chase trying to make something happen after that mistake from TJ, and then he unfortunately makes a mistake of his own. And now TJ is right behind him. We'll see if he can make anything happen and try to apply pressure of his own.
Yeah, look at this battle brewing for the race lead. It doesn't get any better than this. It's not only for the race lead, it's for the overall victory today here at High Point, and TJ is fired up to go get it. He needs those 3 points. A 5-point swing in this moto would be crucial for him to get it down to just 11 points with 2 rounds still remaining in this series, and he is fired up to do it. Chase now has to go defensive. Who plays this better here? Do you think TJ on the attack seems to be a little bit more comfortable?
He looks to be a lot more comfortable being on the attack than out front having to defend here, and you see it just speed-wise, and Chase, not leading too many laps, he might be uncomfortable having to be under this pressure because every time he's gotten the lead, he's been able to check out from a mistake. And TJ down the left-hand side. We'll see if he can get anything done around the outside. He goes, tries to power up the hill. He scrubs this. Can he get the trip up the hill? Looks like Chase might, but TJ is going to cover the inside and take the lead over the finish. He's going to get into that race lead here with 5 minutes to go.
Back and forth we go. What a move by TJ to get the job done. Chase trying all the different lines he can think of to make something happen. He's still right on his rear fender as we come down through the whole shot line. 5 minutes and 2 laps to go. Hold on to your hats and glasses, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a barn burner of a finish as Chase tries to jump over top of TJ, who's taking an alternate line, rolling at the top of the hill. No one's even going for the triple anymore. And then they come down to this middle run. Look at inside for Chase. Almost gets alongside, can't get the pass done just yet as TJ blocks to the middle rut again. Oh my goodness, this is getting so good out front. Chase doubles down to the inside and retakes the lead.
Amazing pass from Chase, mistake from TJ, and he's just going to jump right by him. Both these guys scrubbing, and TJ looking to take this more inside right here, see if he can get a drive. He can't. Chase is going to get one along the outside here, hit the quad. These two are almost going side by side down the hill. Off the track goes TJ. Is going to square up this corner, but cannot make anything happen. Looking down the inside, has to back out, and now Chase has a little bit of breathing room. Not have to worry about TJ sending one down the inside.
What a battle this has been at the front of the field. Only 4 minutes remain in this race, plus those 2 laps, and Chase leads once again, but TJ still on his horse, trying to keep it as close as possible. Cam all by himself in the 3 spot, going to try to stay there until the end of this one, maximize his points haul after a really rough day at the office. Oh, TJ getting into those side banners right there. These guys are hugging every inch of the racetrack, trying to maximize as much forward traction as they can. Chase still launching this downhill right here. TJ, this is where he got him last time by to the outside, but still too much time between them. Little mistake for Chase, so here comes TJ again. It's going to get good.
Yeah, it's going to be real close, and you got to remember, TJ has only 1 second of cuts compared to Chase's 3, so he just got to stay within 2 seconds, and he has the race victory here, and he's doing just that right now, trying to apply the pressure onto Chase, see if he'll make a mistake. If not, he just has to hold on to where he is right now. Doesn't have to make the pass in order to get the Moto victory and the overall victory today.
One lapper up ahead of them who I believe they've already lapped once. It might be Krusty. I can't quite tell from here, but it's someone on a KTM as Chase cases the double in. This is a line that TJ has been working on, an alternate line down the hill, and it's quite fast. Not fast enough to get there just yet as Chase defends going to that middle rut, which is essentially the inside. No one going to the far inside on the track right there. It is Krusty. He gets off the track nicely, and now our 2 leaders can just have their duel at the front. Nobody in front of them for a while, and Chase gets a little sideways coming up the hill. TJ trying to go to the outside to make a pass happen. Nothing yet. Now goes to the inside. Does he get the line? No. Chase rips the outside to hold it as they go into the quad. Oh my goodness, what a line. And he still is holding the position as TJ looks for any opportunity to make the pass happen.
TJ trying everything. He's going left, right, trying to square up corners, trying to single. Obviously, that the big jump going into the rollers, and it's helping him out there, but every line he tries, looks like Chase just has something to counter it. And TJ, like I said, he just has to stay close here, but he definitely wants to get him on track. And, just being behind him here, he gets a line there that kind of sends him off, and down he goes into the outside rut. It kicked him weird after getting that quick slingshot, and down he went into this little woods area on the sweeper.
Man, all things considered, that was not that long of a crash with the way that he flipped into that outside rut and just came to a stop, but it's just enough to open up some breathing room for Chase. Gonna probably have the on-time corrected gap be at about 2 or 3 seconds maybe, but TJ still has a chance to keep this thing close. Actually, let's see what it is right now as Chase takes the lead. TJ comes across 1.7, so there you go. That's the time that TJ just has to make up to win this race on corrected time. Can he do it with 1 minute and 2 laps left to go?
It is going to be close. He's obviously been fast. He was able to hold on to Chase, but you saw there wasn't too many places where he's quicker, and down he goes. He actually slides the rear tire out of the rut. It's going to cost me more time, but yeah, that's what I was saying. Every time he tried to, hit a line that was different from him, it wasn't quicker. It was about the same pace, so I don't know if he could catch back up to him unless Chase has a mistake of his own. So I have to wait and see if Chase can hold on here, but now he has some breathing room to kind of relax a little bit and settle into a pace.
Yeah, Chase finally has no one really right on his immediate hip pocket here, and he's going to try to lay it down. This is what we saw in the first moto. Got just enough of a gap late in the race on TJ to try to put this thing to bed. TJ did close it down late, but then had a late race crash. So we'll see how much Chase kind of manages the gap from here. It will be 2 laps to go next time by, and TJ is still just going to be throwing caution to the wind. But he can't be doing it too much because Cam is still kind of within earshot of these guys. He's not right there, of course, but I don't know, maybe a couple more crashes out of Cam and suddenly we have a little bit of, or out of TJ, I should say, and we maybe have a little bit of weariness of Cam getting up there and doing some damage to try to get a position gained on TJ. That would obviously flip the championship tides a little bit more. They would tie on points at the end of the day if they were to switch. So if you're TJ here, you can throw a little caution to the wind, but you can't just throw everything at it, I think.
Yeah, with those 2 laps left to go here for him, like you said, he could, risk it a little bit, but at the end of the day, you do still want to hold on to this and, still gain those 4 points because it's better than nothing at the end of the day with these 2 rounds left to go after this. So if I were him, I would maybe try, but as soon as he comes to that last lap and he hasn't been getting any time, I would settle into a pace and not really try to force the issue here.
All right, we'll see how he plays it as it runs right now. Like you said, it is a 1-1, 2-2, 3-3 kind of day. Chase sitting on the 1-1 performance to get the overall. TJ on 2-2, and then Cam on 3-3 as it runs. And I think Chase either just went down or had a pretty large mistake because that gap does not look like 5 seconds anymore. And TJ, I think, still has the penalty advantage, right, by 2 seconds. So got to keep an eye on this as well, especially if he can get it down to that 2-second marker. And as I say that, it looks like TJ just had a big mistake as well, so it opens right back up to where it was.
Yeah, it was down to 1.3, and like I said, now it's opened up. It's probably about 2 or 3 seconds after those cuts again. So, he's definitely got to reel in these mistakes. But, if Chase makes another mistake like that, I do see him pushing it till the end. But like I said, he's got to be careful as now Cam has even closed down the time to about 14 seconds between them.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. 1.3 seconds on corrected time. That's how close it is for TJ to maybe get up there and steal this win. If you are Chase, it's time to start feeling perfect at the front and getting as much of a gap as you possibly can to hopefully still win this race. White flag will come out this next time by. These guys are just hugging that aerial banner every single time, getting right up against the edge of the racetrack. And if you're Chase, the white flag is going to be your best friend ever right now to finally see that thing waving, get a chance to close this thing down. He's going to need 1 quali lap, I think, to put this thing to bed. Let's see if he's got it with 1 lap to go.
Yeah, it's up to 2.1 now, so TJ has to gain 2 seconds on this last lap here. I do see him pushing it with how close it is, so to wait and see. Chase just has to hold on. It's 1.9, so TJ is slowly, reeling him in. But does he have enough time? He's got 1 lap to go, about 1:55 lap time. So we will wait and see. He's got 1 lapper up ahead of him for Chase.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be really tight at the flag as Chase is just trying to do everything he can to just hit the marks, not think about the gap behind him, and bring this thing home to go 1-1 on the day. And if TJ gets it close enough, it's not only going to affect the moto win, but the overall win as well. It would be a 2-1 to a 1-2. The better second moto score wins the overall. So this is all up for grabs. 1.6 seconds now. TJ's inched even a little bit closer through the first split. And Chase has got around the lap traffic nicely there. Kai on the 651 Motorsports program, 12th place right now. That's going to be a good result for him. He should be pretty stoked with that. And lets TJ go nicely. I don't know. Which way is this going to go, Talon? I can't pick it at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be close. We have a few sketchy sections. Obviously, you have this little double here, and then you have that long sweeper that TJ went down, and we'll see if Chase can clear it. It looks like he does. We got to wait and see if TJ can clear it himself. It looks like he's also able to. So now we got this sweeper here, as Chase is going to be able to make it cleanly. Gets a little squirrely, holds on to it. I think he pretty much has as long as he can hold on that big downhill now.
Oh, but he's sideways right there going up this hill. That's going to be a big time loss right there. Look at TJ. He's got this thing way closer as we go down the hill on the final lap 2 turns to go. Chase looks like he is going to lock this thing down to win on track, but will it be enough to actually win on corrected time? Up the uphill triple one more time. Chase will cross the line to potentially win. Let's see how corrected time shows it. No, TJ gets it by 3/10 to win Moto 2 in the overall here today. Unbelievable.
See Moto finish their mistake from Chase, and TJ was able to just barely squeak one out, and Cam brings it down. He had it at 11 seconds, must have went down there late, so even he was charging forward, but I mean, that brings title fight even closer. That gives him 5 points in this Moto 2 in the other, so a whole 7 points. It'll bring it down to 11 points heading into the next round.
Wow, unbelievable. That is, yeah, 11 points like you said, and the win on the day for TJ. I cannot believe it. Chase, that one little mistake, it comes down to that one banner in the back that those guys kept clipping, and he decided to try to ride that edge one more time. I think if he could do it all over again, he probably would just stay far left and save the time wasted right there. Wow, crazy, crazy stuff. And congrats, TJ. What a race.
Yeah, it was amazing, you know. I mean, we thought it was over. We thought Chase had it, then those mistakes just kept on coming, and TJ just had the great charge at the end there, and he kept it close. He didn't give up to the end, and it's what ultimately gave him, you know, that overall victory and a even better shot at the title here.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully get a chance to speak with him in a minute and hear his thoughts on everything that just happened in this race, the championship picture as it is. And if you're Cam right now, you've just got to be so frustrated that it hasn't worked out your way these last couple of weeks. He's ridden so well, but in the end, it still falls the way of TJ on the day, and now maybe even the championship is inching his way as well. So we'll catch up with those guys in just a minute. Finishing order, though, looks to have been TJ, Chase, Cam, Brad, Neon, your top 5. Aquas holds on for 6th. Ethan ends up in the 7th spot. Stargame 8th. Pax and Karcher round out our top 10. Good rides all around. Pretty much everybody 13 on back, not able to finish this one, but still good rides throughout the field and some good results for some guys that probably haven't had as good of results this year just yet. So congrats to them.
Yeah, amazing rides for all those guys. You know, just for them to also sticking out. Obviously, we had some, you know, difficulties there with my MXB crashing, but hey, we got it done towards the end here, and yeah, we had some great racing up front. I'm sure those guys had some great racing in the back that we just, you know, couldn't tune back into with all that, you know, battling for the lead up front.
It's tough when there's such good battles for the lead to keep an eye on all the stuff back there, but it is what it is. All right, so once again, to remind everyone, your podium here today at High Point, TJ picks up the win 2-1 over the 1-2 out of Chase. 3-3 day for Cam. But I think he's going to be rather disappointed with that, and we should be able to chat with him here in just a minute. If you guys hanging out in the voice chat, ready to chat, podium talks here in just a moment here from round number 10 of the championship from High Point. Incredible stuff.
We'll go third to first here, starting with Cam.
All right, joined now by our third place finisher on the night, Cam, going 3-3. I mean, first of all, incredible set of rides to get back to those positions, because especially in the second moto, was that a doozy. The first couple of laps ended up getting caught in some melees and then had to fight your way forward in both of them. So congratulations even getting back there, because it could have been a lot worse, I guess, right?
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I do not know what goes through some of these people's minds, but I mean, they could say the same thing about me, so.
I wanted to actually ask you about your starts, because the one start that ends up not counting was basically a hole shot. You were side by side with TJ, but otherwise jumping off the gate hasn't looked particularly comfortable these last couple of weeks. You've been good about sneaking through in some situations, but tonight it didn't work out. What is it? Like, is it just the initial launch? Do you feel a little bit uncomfortable with the shift? Where do you feel like you're missing the most on the start right now?
The reason I haven't fixed it is because I literally have zero clue. One start I do and a whole shot, and then the next miles back.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I also think even in this series, if you look like you're going to whole shot, you're still going to get punted by someone like Ethan who cuts across everyone and starts and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask because, like, I mean, we had obviously 3 restarts in the second moto, and they kind of progressively got more chaotic. So down to Ethan just cutting across because he ends up with 2 hole shots, but I guess he was just sending it.
Yeah, he was the only one on the track in his head, I would assume. But that's Ethan in a nutshell, so it doesn't surprise me. I don't know what it is about this series. Obviously, I crash more in this series than I do in aerial because of what time it is and my brain doesn't work properly. But, like, dude, when I crash, my bike just rolls for miles. I've not had one crash where I reset straight away.
Yeah, I think we
Like,
got... go ahead, sorry.
Aqua's landed on me on the finish line and my bike proceeded to just roll for a solid 10-15 seconds and let everyone who I passed by.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we got that one on camera because, like, yeah, like you pretty much went down right at the tabletop landing and it looked like the bike was going to stop and then it hit like a trampoline or something and kept going and going and going and going. And I'm sure at that point you were probably ready to throw your controller across the room.
I said to TJ mid-race, I was like, I'm about to give you this championship and not turn up next week. I'm sick of this shit.
Oh, man, brutal. But, hey.
The thing is, TJ and Chase are that good that if you don't get the start, you're not beating them. Like, at the end there, you can see how hard I was having to push them. There's no way I was ever going to catch them.
Well, I was going to say the impressive thing is through all the hoops you had to jump through tonight, you were able to get into third and kind of like settle there faster than maybe you would expect for how gnarly it ended up being because you were in third, I think, with about 12 minutes left of Moto 1, and then you got there on Brad in about 8 minutes left of this Moto. So in a way, are you like kind of surprised yourself that you were able to fight that far forward and then settle into position?
To be honest, no, not really. I think outside of Chase and Tyler, there's not many consistent people. I don't know. I wish I could get the start. Well, I mean, I did get the start, and then Talon, fuck me. So,
No problem, man.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm not saying I would have won with a start, but we all know how much easier it is to race when you've got a start. And to be fair, in race 2, the restart, my start wasn't so bad, and then I kind of threw it away myself.
Yeah, tough breaks all around tonight. But hey, either way, you still do have an 11-point lead thanks to your buddy Chase. Beating TJ in the first Moto helped you out a little bit tonight. He almost did it again in Moto 2. But either way, who would you like to thank? Because you still have the red plate with 2 rounds to go.
Moto Academy, SPX suspension, and I'll be honest, I think TJ is going to take it off me at 24 AOMX vaccinations, but we'll see.
All right, well, we'll see what happens when we go racing again next week. Thanks, Cam, for the time, and get a little bit of sleep, I guess, before work starts, huh?
Yeah.
All right, that is our third place finisher, Cam, getting the job done with P3. And I believe next up we're going to talk to our second place finisher, Chase, who was about as close as it possibly can get to a 1-1 day. Either way, you crossed the line first in both motos, so take solace in that, man. You freaking did it, I guess, basically.
I guess basically. We'll take I guess basically. But it was my own mistake. I messed up the low line right after that long left sweeper going up the hill. I literally messed up one time, and it was on the last lap. It was begging for me to mess it up, and I had to do it on the last lap. But that track is just so difficult to race on. It's so wide open, and then the E-road gets there, and then you can't go wide open or gain that little bit of time. So there's just, like, no separation. You kind of just hope people crash, and then just kind of hang around until somebody crashes, and then you take your chance.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you about that mistake. Like you said, was there any part of your mind that thought, like, I'll just cut out of the rut early and stay left of this rut. Like, it's too stupid how deep it is. I don't want to chance it. Obviously, if you could do it again, I'm sure you would. But was there a thought process there, or were you like, I got this, no problem?
A little bit of both, honestly, because I didn't mess it up the whole time. So I was kind of thinking, I got this. But at the same time, I would change lines because I hear you talking about on stream all the time. I change lines all the time. I'm running like nobody else's lines most of the time. That track is just so uber specific that you have to be on the line or you just lose a second. So you like have to. If I would have taken my normal like safe lines and trying to hold my race, like ride my own race, then I would have just lost the same amount of time I would have lost in a crash anyways. So I might as well just risk it and try to hold the line and hope for the best.
Yeah, no, that's a fair way of putting it for sure. We also on the stream tonight dubbed you the closer because all season long you've been fantastic late in the race, charging, closing gaps down to get into a position where you can pass onto the podium or pass into the race lead or something along those lines. Do you feel that? Like, do you notice how good your late races are because you just put yourself in great positions every week late in the race, it seems?
I have no idea what it is. Like, it's honestly like I ride nervous almost, like really tense for the first like usually like 5 to 10 minutes. I'm like trying to play it safe, trying to keep it upright, and then I get in like my rhythm or flow state in the middle of the moto, and it's almost like I'm not even thinking about it. Rather than at the start of the moto, I'm like, oh, don't crash. Then 5 people are gonna pass me because it's like the first 3 laps. Don't crash, don't crash. But then middle of the moto, don't even think about it. I know how to ride. I need to stop thinking about it, and then I could ride a normal full race instead of just the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive. Both motos almost played out to the exact same effect. Obviously, the end result's slightly different in Moto 2, but the way that you were able to catch TJ kind of put the pressure on him. Then he makes the big mistake and you capitalize on it. It looked like the same movie running back again over and over. Did you have any spot in mind that you wanted to try to make the pass? Like, we saw more battling between you two in Moto 2, and it seemed like more about limiting the mistakes is where you would make a pass, but did you have a specific spot of the track that you liked over the others?
To be honest, not really. It's just such a hard track to pass, and it's so easy to mess it up with the E-Road. With the no E-Road, it's basically impossible to pass. You just kind of hope for the best and like throw a super aggressive move up the inside. But the E-Road, if you wait long enough, usually in like half a lap or so, don't make the smallest mistake, and then you can at least shove a front wheel in there and like take the space. And then you just ride like me. You ride like a complete hazard, cross jump them at every opportunity, and then then he can't pass you back.
That's funny. All right. Well, either way, congratulations on the almost win. You do go 1-2 on the day. You get second overall on the night. Who would you like to thank for getting you up in this position on the podium?
You already know all the boys at Charge Cycle Works. Oh my god. All the Charge Cycle Works boys, Bullfit, Warp 9, Liat, Thrill Seekers, Grip It, all my good sponsors helping me out, giving me the actual funds to be able to keep running this team. And be sure to check out chaseblacksuspension.com. We have every setup for every OEM, 5 different setups for every OEM in the game. We have suspension servicing sessions, so if you want your custom suspension setup, I can get that for you. And we have just general game coaching on the site as well. So if you need any help with MX bikes, go to chaseblacksuspension.com.
Awesome stuff. Well, again, congratulations on a hell of a night, almost getting the dub, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for hosting too. Talon, all the boys in the background. Appreciate it, fellas.
Love to hear it. All right, that was Chase.
Our winner.
Yep, and now on to our winner, TJ, the big winner of the day here at High Point. Oh my goodness, heart and mouth stuff, especially that second moto, but able to get close enough to get the win in Moto 2. First off, just take us through what was going through your head those last couple of laps, because it must have been frantic trying to get back to the position to win this race.
Yeah, I was trying to bark, but the holes are out to get me every week. But yeah, caused me a few crashes. But without those holes, I would have been aura farming. I didn't aura farm.
It was incredible. The speed that you definitely had on that last lap and some of the lines that you took were full send, I would say. But either way, how much did it kind of scare you, I guess, especially in the second moto, having seen what happened in the first moto about the lines you were taking? Like how particular were you to, be mindful of where it was getting too deep and think about that to, maybe not get taken out again?
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain on these tracks because obviously there's the main fast lines which always get obviously like just holes everywhere because everyone hits it. But then a lot of the other fast lines, they all like form into the like deep runs already. So it's just like, yeah, you just gotta. I feel like firming the road's the fastest way around because Stone Rider's kind of he's got the insides which are really slow and the outsides just really fast. There's no like in between.
Yeah. How frustrating was it in the first moto when that line did finally catch you out? Like, because you kept going back to that double line coming into the valley, and then it was just the one time it finally went wrong, and it went really wrong.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, innit? And then obviously bounced into the woods and got stuck in a ditch. And yeah, there's like a whole lead gone.
Yeah.
And then that's annoying. And then race 2, same sort of thing, 4 crashes. But yeah.
Well, you actually recovered really well from early race, like off-track crash coming down the downhill. You lost a couple of positions and then snapped right back into battling for third place. So how quickly does that does it ever take you out of the zone a little bit when you have those moments? Like how quickly are you able to get back into the zone when that happens?
For me, it depends. Like if I crash and lose like loads of places, then I'm like really annoyed. But if it's only like a few places and I just lost time, it's easy to just get back and just do what you was doing. And it depends who's in front of you as well. Like if you're following someone slower, then that really aggravates you.
Yeah, makes sense for sure. So you get the win today. The championship goes down to 11 points with 2 to go. We kind of asked you last week about, your thoughts on getting back in a position to battle for the championship and how close it's gotten. Do you feel pretty confident at this point in time you might be able to sneak this one in?
Yeah, hopefully with a bit more consistency and a bit more luck on the starts like I've been having, then we'll see. Could see a last round battle for the championship. Hopefully. That's what I want anyway. I don't think Cam wants that.
Yeah, I think Cam would have liked to maybe wrap this up a little bit earlier, but hey, the resilience has paid off. You just keep coming back every week and giving him a challenge.
Yep. It's slowly but surely coming down a little bit by bit.
Incredible stuff tonight, obviously, for the win. Who would you like to thank for getting the dub?
I'd like to thank obviously FXR AOMX and then obviously FXR Performance for the good setups to get around those insanely choppy and very erody tracks that Diesel likes to put the erode on a bit too high. And then Vulcan for the bikes and our new model swap that we got. Neon for making me pit boards. And yeah. And Alex from Moto Academy cheering me on. And I think that's it.
Love
and
it.
ETO, obviously.
Yeah.
ETO for the fight.
Love it, man. Well, again, congratulations. Hell of a night. Gave us one heck of a race to watch, and appreciate you taking the time with us.
No worries. Hopefully same next week.
Yes, sir. All right, that is our winner, TJ, getting the job done here tonight at High Point. Incredible night of racing, and it ends up with a 1-2-2-1 split. Don't think we would have seen it any closer than that, Talon. I cannot believe it's 11 points going into the final 2 races in the coming weeks.
It's finally not wrapped up early. There's finally a chance. Last 2 years, it's been wrapped up going into the final round, and unless something like unfortunate happens, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So we finally, get a good battle these final 2 rounds. With TJ gonna, never thought of him being, the underdog, being the guy having to chase back into this, points lead. But I mean, he's here and he's doing good, and he really has a good shot at taking that win unless Cam finally figures out those starts. Like he said, he doesn't really know what's wrong with them, but if he could figure out those starts, it's it's going to be a great showdown these final 2 rounds.
Absolutely. And you guys can watch it right here on SYS TV the next 2 weeks. You won't want to miss out. Same time, same place on these Thursday evenings at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Rounds 11 and 12 of the AOMX FXR Championship and MX Bikes coming at you. So we'll send you on your way here from High Point. Hopefully you enjoyed our coverage of round 10 of this series. 2 to go, 11 points in it for the championship. We